Antron, a man's mind is inserted into a computer simulation. Do you think the average person could stay sane in that reality? Wouldn't the brain's loss of its sensors, like eyes and equilibrium, make the human mind instantly sick?
So
That's really, it's one of those things where it's like...
yeah, it's one of those things where the narrative, I mean, obviously the humans working inside the cyberspace is a tool of the narrative in that case. Mm-hmm. There's so much that's glossed over in that movie in terms of how things work.
That is not hard sci-fi.
Right. What are they doing? Are they actually, I don't know, do they actually like disappear and reappear in cyberspace in that movie, or do they or are they sitting outside and their brain is being telecast into the...
He is completely deconstructed.
Okay, they're completely deconstructed?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, then they're running as a simulation inside the environment. As part of a destructive simulation. There's a whole nother set of videos in philosophy about whether or not that kills you. But...
teleporters!
Yeah, it's like, okay, so is that a new Jeff Bridges inside the machine now?
Yeah.
And did the old Jeff Bridges die? And when he comes back out, will that Jeff Bridges die and a new one appears who thinks that he's always been alive? Anyways.
Yeah,
it's
teleporters.
Complicated.
In Blade Runner, the replicants are given human emotion and memories to make them more stable. Wouldn't it make sense not to do this given the erratic nature of humans? Or must they have these qualities in order for humans to accept such a creature in their midst?
I mean, didn't the replicants end up kind of going unstable in a couple times anyway?
Well, no.
That's the whole point.
Well, the whole point of the Blade Runners is that they hunt down the ones that do go unstable.
Yeah.
But no, the point of the matter is that that the question of whether or not emotions make you more or less stable is kind of interesting, both from an AI and from an evolutionary perspective. I mean, presumably we have emotions because they're useful, but this actually goes back to a previous question that we had here, which was about how AIs actually feel, and whether or not AIs are moral or amoral or whatnot. One of the ways that you can try to solve AIs having just weird goals that they pursue completely orthogonal to everything else in the world is to give them emotions so they form emotional attachments to other things, like people, so that they don't want to hurt the people.
Right.
And this is one of the ways that you solve the so-called control problem. So it's possible that that's just how replicants in the Blade Runner universe solve the AI safety problem, and the fact that sometimes they go crazy and start murdering folks is a better alternative than just having them running around without emotions. But
I mean, people go crazy and start running around killing each other anyway too, so
yeah, that's true.
In the HBO show Westworld, human minds are inserted into android bodies. The mind cannot handle the change and quickly degenerates. They decide to modify the human's code in order to make it stronger to survive the process by tweaking memories and modifying other attributes. Would you be willing to become immortal if it means some of your personality memories must be altered without your consent? Are you really the same person after that?
The Delos problem.
I mean, it's always been my life's goal to be a robot, so I mean, I kind of would go for it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like, whoosh. How much are you willing to give up of your sense of self?
I don't know. I mean, maybe this is just my experience with life, but I've noticed that my memories of how things happened in the past do actually change over time.
They do.
Yeah, and I'm told that this is totally normal, and as your brain rewrites memories and things like that, they do change. So arguably, you're already undergoing that process as you kind of ship of theses your way through life. I don't know whether I would want to get transformed into an infomorph, I guess. Where I'm just software that gets downloaded. That said, if the character that's being referred to here, I'm coming to the end of my life and I'm have a terminal disease, and it's well, this is a lifeboat. Would you like to get in? I would probably go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I'm like, yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? You actually die? Well, you're gonna die anyway.
Right, I mean, it's kind of like the same argument with cryonics.
Yeah.
It's like, would you rather jump out of the crashing airplane with a parachute that might work? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
okay, fair enough.
In the Netflix show Black Mirror, an episode has characters uploaded into a video game. These characters are exact copies of their mortal selves. Once in the game, these characters deviate from the original host. They experience different things and change. How would you feel if multiple copies of you were running around? How would you feel to having a digital backup of yourself that can have an entirely different life?
It's like cloning, isn't it? Gets into the whole cloning thing.
See, I thought that this was a subpart of the question about being turned into an infomorph.
That's true.
Earlier.
I mean, it kind of is.
It's like, okay, we are in, full advanced stage transhumanism here.
Mm-hmm.
The mind is software. And that's, it's kind of interesting. I mean, it seems like the best possible form of having kids, or the worst possible form of having kids, depending on whether or not you like yourself.
Yeah, you know.
It's certainly very narcissistic, I think.
A little bit.
But I guess it would also depend on whether or not they could come back. So,
how badly is this going to bite me in the ass?
So let me give you a further extension to this to help you think about it. So, if you were going to have a copy of your mind made, and it was going to go off, and it was going to just have the best possible life, everything that you've alluded to in your answers so far, happening every day, all the time. And it was just happiness forever. Would you want to spawn yourself off that way? Even if you didn't get to experience
Even
it.
if I didn't get to experience
knowing that one
it.
of you was, that a copy of you was getting to experience it.
I mean, why not?
Okay.
It's true that I wouldn't get to experience it, but, imagine that it would be me going off into the world, doing good things, creating good results, helping people, making the world a better place. I mean...
Corollary. Now, if that happened, and this other copy of you was, just being, tortured and kept alive for 1,000 years in, unending agony...
No.
Okay.
No, I don't wanna. No, that's part of why I don't want to have kids.
Okay.
I don't want.
That got dark fast. Okay.
I don't want to risk. Well, I mean that's an extreme example, but we're not gonna go into my childhood.